Hi, I'm Lisa Magnuson, founder and CEO of Top Line Sales. And today we are going to delve into the topic of securing an executive sponsor and traps to avoid while you're doing it. As a matter of fact, the whole webinar today is going to be focused on 5 traps. And by avoiding those traps, you're going to put yourself in a great position to be able to be successful around securing your executive sponsor. So, what's in it for you? Well, when you have an executive sponsor for a 5x deal, those big deals worth about 5x, 5 times your average deal size, that makes all the difference in the world to success or failure. Every 5x deal that I have been a part of over the last 15 to 20 years that's been successful has had an executive sponsor. But there's some traps, and we need to be aware of those, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So, before we get started, just wanted to say that this is one of the plays in my latest book, the Top Sales Leader Playbook. And if you want to win 5x deals repeatedly, not just once, but repeatedly, this book includes 16 plays. It has examples and samples, and each play has a sideline coach. And so if you decide to invest in this book, you can get it on Amazon, and you save your Amazon receipt number, I will send you this. I know you can't read the writing, but this is a full 5x deal success system, and I will send you this in the form of an assessment that you can download from my website right away if you decide to buy the book and you put in your Amazon receipt number. And my website is toplinesales.com. So I hope you'll consider that investment. All right, let's get to it. So, traps to avoid. There's 5 big ones. Let's start with not doing account strategy work and pre-call planning. If you are going to secure an executive sponsor, that means that this is a big opportunity for you, a big prospect, and that requires strategy work. And that is not a once and done. Strategy work has to happen over time, because it takes time to secure a meeting with an executive sponsor and to maintain that relationship, not just have one meeting, but have multiple meetings over time. So you're going to want to pull your account team together, and that might be you and your manager, it might be you and some specialists and some all kinds of different folks can be part of an account team, maybe from marketing, maybe you have account managers, account executives, national account managers, whoever makes up that account team. Pull those people together and engage in some account strategy work, thinking strategically and not tactically about that opportunity. And part of that strategic thinking is, what executive are you targeting? What do they care about? Putting together sort of information on them, maybe a dossier, thinking about the windows of opportunity and the best ways that you will be successful securing a meeting. And when you get that meeting, then that same team needs to engage in pre-call planning. Failing to do either one of those is a showstopper if you want to get an executive sponsor. The second trap that we're going to avoid is, don't underestimate the power and the authority of the executive assistant. Most people don't have executive assistants, but certainly those folks in the C-suite usually do. Maybe they all share one, but they usually do have somebody that is helping them out. That person is just as important as the executive. And sometimes you can develop a relationship with that person. Maybe you have met them before in a prior effort to talk to one of the executives that person supports. And if you struck up a relationship with them, then that will go a long way to you getting on the calendar for that to get an executive sponsor meeting. So never underestimate the power and the authority of that executive assistant, including after the meeting, circling back and thanking them. And hopefully then that leaves the door open for a scheduling of the next meeting. So that's the second trap we're going to avoid. The third one is asking for too little or too much time. In my book about executive engagement, I talked to many C-suite executives, and I asked them all basically the same question. Why would you take a meeting with a salesperson? What would make that meeting valuable? And what would cause you to leave the door open for future meetings? And they all said it in a different way, but it came back to the same thing. The thing that executives care about is their time. They are busy, they're important, and their time is at a premium. And they guard that time, and their executive assistant guards that time. So it is essential that you don't ask for too much or too little. If you ask for too little time, they will assume that you're going to run over and they can't take that chance. So the answer is going to be no. If you ask for too much time, without a history, without trust built, without a rock solid reason and an agenda, then they're not going to accept that meeting either. One tip that I always share with my clients, whatever time that you ask for, 45 minutes, an hour, end your meeting early. End it early. End it 5 minutes early, end it 10 minutes early. That executive will remember that, and they will be much more likely to meet with you in the future if you ended your meeting with them early. I always cringe when sales reps tell me, "Yes, we had the meeting with the executive sponsor. It went great. As a matter of fact, he or she let us go over by a half hour." Well, I'm here to say they may have let you go over by a half hour, but they were not happy about it. And they were just too polite to end the meeting. And they will remember that too when you ask for a follow-up meeting. So don't fall into that trap. Ask for just the right amount of time and end your meeting early. All right, trap number 4, subservient approach. It's especially salespeople that aren't in the habit of meeting with executives. It's easy to have a subservient approach. It's easy to not have the level of confidence that you normally have in all your other meetings. And when you put yourself in your executive's shoes, they got to where they are for a reason. They care about certain things in their organization and people, and they expect to be dealing with people of the highest caliber, people that are confident, people that can add value, people that can understand their priorities and their challenges and speak at their level. And it's essential through that pre-call planning and that account strategy work that you do everything that you can to show up as an executive yourself and be confident in your agenda, in the talking points, in the value that you're going to add during that meeting. All right, so we've been through 4. Last one, once and done approach. The whole reason I wrote my book on executive engagement is because time after time and time after time, I kept hearing account teams talk about the fact that they needed to get this executive sponsor. Yet it was a person they had met with in the past, maybe years before, but they didn't do a good job of cultivating that executive over time. So when they needed to go back maybe 2 years later, 3 years later, whatever it was, that executive didn't remember them. They didn't have a favorable impression. They had to start, the sales team had to start from scratch. And so the pitfall that we want to skip is having a once and done approach. And to avoid having a once and done approach, it's important during your pre-call planning to think about what that next meeting would be and what would the timing associated with that meeting be. And then to talk to the executive about it, maybe ask questions. How can we stay in touch with you? What are those things that you want to be aware of? How do we keep you up to date? We usually meet with executives, twice a year. Does that work for you? If we have an opportunity to introduce you to other executives that might be valuable for you to know, would that be something you want us to do for you? Just have the conversation about how to leave the door open. So if you avoid those 5 traps, you will be very successful in engaging executives, an executive sponsor for your big opportunities, and you absolutely will ring the bell more often. Thank you. And if you want more resources from Top Line Sales, go to our website, toplinesales.com. We've got an awesome pre-call plan guide that you can download for free. I already talked about my latest book, Playbook to Win 5X Deals repeatedly. You can click through to Amazon and buy that book, save your receipt number, and get our exclusive gift of the 5X success system assessment right away. There's opportunities there to sign up for our newsletter, which comes out once or twice a month. And of course, we have many, many webinars on our YouTube channel and also on the Bright Talk platform as one of the sales experts. So thank you very much, and good luck to you as you win more 5X deals through executive sponsors.